Hello, hello, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at Luna, who's sitting next to me. No, I'm just kidding. Here she is. Hey, girl. We take a look at headlines, and we take a look at news from our city, our state, and our country. We take a look at your wonderful comments, ideas, questions, and suggestions, and we combine all this information just so that we can connect. We can connect with each other, with our city, with our culture, with everything that makes our life significant and special as a community of English-speaking locals. My name is Paco, if you're new. And if you are new, we hope that you will consider letting us know that you're watching for the first time. You can do that by writing the word new in your comment. And that way we'll be happy to provide you with a nice little friendly welcome. I am so incredibly grateful for all the positive comments that I've received from you between Saturday and even this morning about our Guadalajara special broadcast. I am so very happy that you enjoyed it. Luna and I put a lot of love into putting it together, and it was absolutely fun. For a little over an hour, those of us that watched live had a chance to take a look at photos and video and listen to anecdotes about Guadalajara, and we answered questions. Of course, the presentation is still there for those of you that are members and supporters of Coffee and Headlines. You can simply go to the same link that was announced to enjoy it live, and you should be able to enjoy it whenever you want. And for those of you that have not yet subscribed to Coffee and Headlines, the moment you subscribe, you can access all the members only and supporters only content that we put together for you at Buy Me a Coffee. It's not a lot, but there's a few private broadcasts there that you might enjoy, and a couple of tips that we share for members only that might be important to you. Before we get started today, and we have a few news items to share, as always, I encourage you to add a capital letter Q at the beginning of a comment that is particularly important for you to have addressed or answered during the broadcast. We don't want to miss those. So if you have something truly important that you wish to share, kindly add a capital letter Q so that we can go looking for it during our comment section at the end of the broadcast. Let's get started. Okay, so today we start with a controversial vehicle verification that, according to Governor Alfaro, has come to stay. We announced late last week that the verification center is reopening as of today. This is for you to be able to go and verify your vehicle, make sure that it is in good working order so that you can continue to drive it. Originally, Governor Alfaro announced that those vehicles that do not comply with verificación responsable or responsible verification would be fined. But this morning, we learned that Governor Alfaro has confirmed that there will be no fines for vehicles that fail to go through the verification process, at least for the time being. The governor was quoted on saying there are still some details that need to be fine tuned and tweaked. Apparently, the government was hoping to install a lot more verification centers than they did by this time, and this hasn't happened. So they're still going to tweak this whole new system further. So don't lose your marbles, or don't, not lose your marbles. That's not the good expression. Don't be concerned. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Don't be concerned. If you fail to verify your vehicle, you will not be fined at this time. Isn't losing your marbles the equivalent of vomiting? See, there's so many idioms in English, it's not even funny. Anyhow, moving right along, restaurants increasingly taking over the Malecón continue to ruffle feathers. We recall that it was back in 2015 when a group of Malecón business owners, along with then Mayor Arturo Dávalos Peña, turned the idea of extending businesses outside of their property into a reality. But at the time, the stretch that restaurants used to occupy was a lot smaller. And of course, with the passing of time and the lack of follow up, things have gone poof. And all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, gradually, restaurants have taken over what they have taken over as of right now. Will we be able, or will authorities be able to reclaim what was lost? It's hard to say. But, of course, once a restaurant is entitled to putting chairs outside of their business, it's difficult to persuade them to go back inside, or to at least tone down the amount of space they are occupying. But what do we know? Now we have some COVID-related news. According to this report, between May 22nd and May 28th, 165 new COVID cases were reported every 24 hours in the state of Jalisco, which is twice as many as prior to the elimination of face masks. Is it time to be concerned? Well, it really depends on who you ask. On the one hand, you have health authorities that are starting to bring up these numbers to light. And on the other hand, you have our governor and other politicians saying, well, we have no reason to be concerned. Hugo Lopez-Gatell has said that we reach a certain number of patients. Yes, we could go back into a fifth phase of the pandemic here in Mexico, but it's not happening yet. The only thing I can add to this conversation, if I may, is what we've been saying all along. Continue to wear face masks in places where you feel concerned or even threatened, and continue to take care of yourself as responsibly as you have all along. And hopefully we will all be fine. Now, we've heard several, let me switch over to my screen. We've heard several success stories for Puerto Vallarta that took place during the recent tourism tianguis in Acapulco, but we haven't heard that many about the state of Nayarit. While they were there, they were trying to promote their new names like Nuevo Nayarit instead of Nuevo Vallarta, and Valle Nayarit instead of Bahía de Banderas or Banderas Bay. And wholesalers, tourism wholesalers and promoters and airlines did not seem all that keen on the changes, given the fact that tourists are not used to such names, which places Nayarit as a destination at a major disadvantage, all thanks to the single-sided or stubborn ideas of Nayarit's governor, who insists on appropriating his tourism, but in his own personal way. Well, they do say experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So let this be a lesson for Nayarit authorities. If changing names is not going to work out, maybe they shouldn't be changing names to begin with. The first case of monkeypox has reached Mexico and is located in Mexico City. The patient is a man from New York City that could have contracted the disease in Europe. Contact tracing is presently taking place to prevent the further spread of the disease. And as we announced a few days ago, this should not be reason for us to worry at this time. I've been reading here and there about monkeypox, and I'm sure you have too. And health authorities seem to indicate that we don't necessarily know, or it is not a done deal that monkeypox will become a pandemic in any way, shape, or form. So I just wanted to share that for you to know, but not for you to be concerned at this time. Let us concern ourselves with the weather instead. Ooh, I keep scratching my eye because it's itchy. Anyhow, Agatha. Oh no, I don't want to talk about Agatha yet. We're going to talk about the weather, but we're going to talk about Agatha in a second. Snarky Weather says, again, is Superman less powered when it's partly cloudy? Interesting. It is 26, oh, Dios mío, 26 degrees, but look at humidity, 81%. Ugh, and I have errands to run around the city today. It feels like 29 degrees, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 80. And we begin our week with a humid day with a high temperature of 31 and a low of 22. And then Tuesday, it's going to be humid through the day with a high of 32 and a low of 21. And then Wednesday, it's going to be another humid day with a high of 30 and a low of 21. We might as well just say every day moving forward is bound to be humid because it is that time of the year. And now let us talk about Agatha. Agatha became a Category 1 hurricane throughout the weekend, and as it hits the coast of Mexico this morning, it has become a Category 2 hurricane. And we remember that the higher the number, it's the more intense the storm is. It is presently located in front of the coasts of Guerrero and Oaxaca, and is not expected to bring any risk to the coast of Jalisco. So there she be, and she's going to head in this general direction, not up to where we are. We are located up here. So this time around, we can consider ourselves fortunate. The nice folks in Guerrero and Oaxaca, not so much, but this is only the first one of many that we're going to see during the season. Moving right along, apparently another food kermesse or shindig has been set up at Puerto Vallarta's main plaza, despite the fact that the rules of use of the Malecón and the plaza forbids it. And of course, these kinds of setups anger nearby restaurants. Authorities allowed the stands to be set up because they benefit the local DIF, or Family Integral Department unit here in Puerto Vallarta. There are approximately 20 stands with all kinds of traditional eateries and Mexican chingaderas for you to enjoy. So if you find yourselves in that neck of the woods, this might be something you may want to try. I'm going to be walking past the plaza later on today, and if I see interesting things to photograph, I'll be so very happy to share them with you. I also want to remind you that CEPAL announced late last week that they're going to be closing part of Basilio Vadillo, starting with Pino Suarez, the portion between Pino Suarez and Ignacio Vallarta, so that they can take care of some improvements in their pipes. So be mindful of this if you're going to be walking out and about, or if you're going to be driving, more importantly. Please know that traffic is going to be compromised in that part of town, and it's going to continue all the way to Insurgentes Street, but CEPAL has not announced yet how long this is going to take place. Let's see. Well, yeah, Gloria Trevi, Mexico's Queen of Pop, came and delivered a spectacular concert attended by over 6,000 people as part of the Puerto Vallarta festivities commemorating its foundation as a city and as a municipality, commonly celebrated during the final days of May. And if you're wondering where in the city, where in town you can hold a concert of that magnitude, I have some photos to share. These were posted by Vallarta en Línea, and you can see the temporary stadium that was erected in the empty spot where the short-lived ice skating rink used to be. So there's no excuse of saying that Puerto Vallarta cannot hold large scale concerts. Of course, we don't know how much it cost to bring such a structure to the city. This would be in this other photograph, the back of Soriana, and back there is where the Naked Lady statue is located. We've walked around this neighborhood, so I'm sure you know where this is, and that's where the concert took place. It's a nice facility. I really wish they would keep it there year around so that we can enjoy more large scale concerts during the entire year. Well, maybe not while it's raining. The last link that I have to share has truly, truly nothing to do with Puerto Vallarta. It's more of a personal anecdote. So many of my friends are into Marvel movies, the superhero ones. I went to see the Doctor Strange movie last week and I was very entertained. But, if you're not watching all of these flicks, it's difficult to understand how all the characters relate to one another. And of course, Marvel has created this ginormous universe of characters and storylines that, unless you're following all the movies, you can get lost when you go to see a brand new movie in the theater. So, a couple of my friends offered some recommendations on what to watch and what to read before going to see Doctor Strange. But I figured I'm going to beat this from the root, and I found myself this awesome article that shows the 34 Marvel Universe movies to date and the order in which you should watch them in order to understand what the fuck is going on. So I've decided this is going to be my summer project, and I started with Captain America yesterday, and this was the first movie to be recommended. So, interestingly enough, the movies are not released in chronological order. The story is not connected chronologically. So, you start with a movie that was released in 2011, then it moves to a movie that was released in 2019, and then they recommend a movie that was released in 2008. But what the hell? If this keeps me understanding what's going on, then so be it. And if this is something that you may be slightly interested in, I'm going to include it in the show notes for you to enjoy as well. Maybe we can talk about Marvel movies through the summer. And now let's take a look at your beautiful comments, starting with David Dunphy, who has airline tickets and will be in town in 71 days. That is absolutely phenomenal. Then we connected halfway through Guadalajara, but again, now that we're in the bigger get together, I want to congratulate you on a successful procedure. I'm very happy to learn that you are doing fine. Our favorite viewer, our only viewer from Chevy Chase, Maryland, Ryan, is going to be in Puerto Vallarta on Thursday. I hope you enjoy your time in town, and we certainly enjoy your company on a regular basis. Let's see. Bum, paradim, pam, 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 pam. Lots of hellos, lots of good mornings. Bum, 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 bum. The Guadalajara travel show yesterday was outstanding. Thank you. Thank you, Karen, for joining, and thank you for enjoying it. Enjoy the presentation Saturday. I guess the electric quesadilla maker got edited out. We are just not going to buy one. We simply are not going to spend our money. I mean, give me the choice of owning an electric quesadilla maker and give me the choice of enjoying magic Chinese yarn that turns into feather boas. You know where I'm going to go. Not sure it has been discussed here yet, but what is all the fuss about getting that RFC number, says Anna Sparks. And this doesn't even have a Q, but it seems to be important. It's not a fuss. It's what the law and it's what the Internal Revenue, Mexico's Revenue Department has indicated you have to do. I cannot explain why because I am not a tax expert, but I can tell you that you are expected to get one. If that is a fuss, I don't know. It's what the law expects us to do or expects people that are here from other countries to do. Let's see. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. Let's see. Ramona says, can't wait to go to Guadalajara on my return trip, taking the bus this time around. I tell you, I love that ETN bus. It is so comfortable and so relaxing. I just love it. Let's see. More kudos about Guadalajara. Thank you very much, Liz. Much appreciated. Um, and, ooh. Don't get your panties in a wad in a bunch. We're not going to get our panties in anything today. Earl, I haven't seen you in forever. Earl is my dear friend from college and for life. It is great to read you. I hope things are going well up north. A good friend of mine, Fernando, who is the accompanist for Amy Armstrong, I noticed that he posted this morning that he was at Logan Airport in Boston. He was headed to Provincetown to perform there, and I can't wait to get together with him after he comes back from Provincetown. He's the nicest straight boy you could meet, but I'm sure he's going to be wowed with all the wonderful things that are going on in Provincetown. Let's see what else we have. Thank you, Felix. Losing your marbles is losing your mind. Losing your lunch is vomiting. Thank you. See, I get my marble. Oh, tossing your cookies. See, that's I am so happy that I'm not tossing any cookies right now. That's all I'm gonna say. So many idioms. Uh, 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 uh. Let's see what else. I don't see cues. I don't see cues. There's a cue. Should I start looking out for Butterfingers for when I come back? Oh, David. Oh, David, look at my cheeks. Look at my tummy. How about I say thank you, but do not worry about the Butterfingers. I love the intention and I appreciate it, but I think my heart doctor is going to get on my case, is going to not be happy about my consumption of Butterfingers these days. Uh, Alan asks, do dual citizens need an RFC? I have no idea. But thank you for sharing. Hopefully somebody will answer um, your question. Ngura, of course, you had me at yarn that turns into feathers. Yes, this is crazy Chinese yarn that is stretchy. And I discovered this in Guadalajara, and it is so easy to make. It's not even funny. So I bought a bunch of skeins of magical Chinese yarn that turns into feather boas. Trust me, my dear Gouda, I will have one ready for you when you return because I love you. And I know that you are an extra, extra large. I hope your eye continues to recover. And it's great that you're chiming in. Let's see. Oh, Jill, our adopted family arrives from war-torn Ukraine today. Jill, will you allow me to interview you at some point? Because I would love to bring you on board and just ask you about this wonderful thing that you're doing. And I am sure that other people will want to hear more about it. To try to persuade you, I'm going to invite anybody that is watching to write the word Ukraine if you are as curious as I am about what Jill is doing, adopting a whole family. So there you have it. I'm just going to put it out there, and if it's meant to be, it will happen. Raymond had a fantastic Saturday brunch at Whiskey Kitchen in Versalles. I know that Gina has started serving brunch on Saturdays. I have not been able to attend, but hopefully this coming Saturday I'll be able to be there. And look at all those Ukrainians that are flying in. I love it. So Jill, if you've ever done Skype before, if you've ever gone live and you have a camera, let's make this happen. If you're into it, because look at all the people that want to know about your your I don't know what to call it, your decision, your gift to this family. How wonderful is that? And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I am, as always, eternally grateful for the fact that you are such an awesome community of like-minded individuals that choose to get together mornings here with Luna and I, and choose to nurture this community and choose to inspire me with ideas of things that we can share with one another. I hope this will be a wonderful week for you, and I hope that we'll have more wonderful things to share during the rest of the week. Stay kind, stay happy, stay cool now that the summer weather is here, and stay in touch. I'll see you again soon, hopefully tomorrow.